Thank you for choosing FinylLine TTop railing. FinylLine's low-maintenance aluminum-reinforced T-top vinyl railing features all the things you want in a railing: style, safety, and security, easy installation, and more. Choose from multiple baluster styles and colors, as well as a variety of accessories. Let's get started with our level installation. First, prepare all your posts. We're using 4x4 vinyl sleeves over structural posts. Place the bottom rail across the post opening, leaving equal spacing from the last baluster and post on each end, and mark 1/8 of an inch from the end of the post to allow room for expansion. Align your top rail with your bottom rail and cut both rails with a miter box or hacksaw. Keep in mind that you will need to cut through the vinyl and the aluminum insert within each rail. Next, we'll need to plan for the mounting location of your bottom rail using two 2-inch temporary wood spacer blocks to help with alignment. Place your brackets onto both ends of the bottom rail and slide the bottom rail in between your posts, resting it on top of your wood blocks. Center one of the brackets onto its respective post and, using a 1/8 inch drill bit, pre-drill the 4 outside corner screw holes through the bracket and into the post. Do this for both sides. Then drive 4 number 10 by 1.5 inch screws through the bracket and into the post. Then repeat this for the opposite bracket. Locate the 2 balusters with crimped lock tabs on their ends. Install these 2 balusters into the baluster holes closest to your posts. Then place all remaining balusters into your bottom rail. Place your brackets onto both ends of your top rail. Begin at one side of the rail and align your first baluster with your first routed baluster hole on your top rail and gently snap your top rail into position. Then continue down the line and add your remaining balusters. Once your balusters are in, railing is level and centered onto your post sleeve, pre-drill the first top bracket screw hole using a 1/8 inch drill bit. Then, drill through the bracket hole, vinyl post sleeve and vinyl insert, and loosely install a number 10 by 1.5 inch screw. Pre-drill for the remaining 3 screws, then install and tighten all 4 screws. Do this for the remaining top bracket. Next, for each installed side bracket, pre-drill in the center of each elongated hole with a 1/8 inch drill bit, then install number 10 by 1 inch screws into your pre-drilled holes. Do this for the remaining bracket. Match the letters scribed on the inside of the bracket cover to the letter on the bracket and snap the cover into place. Repeat this for all brackets. For a finishing touch, add adjustable trim rings, lights, or other accessories sold separately. We've done a basic level rail application, so let's quickly show you how to install FinylLine TTop railing on an angle. There are 3 methods that you can use to install your FinylLine TTop railing on an angle using pre-molded adapters for 22.5 degrees or 45 degrees, adjustable swivel brackets, or field-cut angle brackets. Let's do the pre-molded adapters first. Using the posts that will have the pre-molded adapters installed onto them, measure the distance between them using their inside corners. Subtract 3/4 of an inch from that distance to determine the length you will need to use to cut your top and bottom rails. If you're using 1-piece trim rings versus 4-piece adjustable, add them now. Assemble your railing section as we did in the previous level rail section, but this time you'll place the angle adapter between the brackets and posts. Then pre-drill, then use the longer 3-inch screws provided with adapters to connect to the post. Now we'll do the adjustable swivel brackets. First, determine the angle of your railing as illustrated. Pre-drill 1/8 inch diameter holes into the bracket base, then fasten the bracket at your planned angle. Cut your railing to the predetermined length and place the brackets onto each end of the top and bottom rails. Place your bracketed railing section onto the post and mark 4 screw hole locations onto your post. Set your railing aside, then pre-drill 1/8 inch diameter holes at each mark. You may want to use spacer blocks as temporary supports. Next, attach your top rail and bottom rail brackets with 4 number 10 by 1/2 inch screws. Pre-drill one 1/8 of an inch diameter hole through the top rail and aluminum insert for each side of your top rail, brackets only. Fasten with number 10 by 1 inch screws. Add 2 screw covers for your top and bottom brackets and add 2 screw caps to cover the screws on each top rail bracket. For a finishing touch, add adjustable trim rings, lights, or other accessories sold separately. Last are field cut angle brackets. Slide a top rail bracket over the railing ends. Measure your desired angle and cut your bracket and railing with the aluminum channel inside to that angle, maintaining a 4-inch or less space between your post and first baluster. Repeat this for the bottom rail and complete your installation as we did in the previous level rail section. Keep in mind the maximum cut angle should be no greater than 21.5 degrees to prevent bracket or rail from overhanging your 4x4 post. If your angle is more than 21.5 degrees, we recommend a larger post sleeve. Now we'll demonstrate a typical stair installation. First, prepare all your posts. We're using 4x4 vinyl sleeves over structural posts, then temporarily secure a 1 1/4 inch deck board to your stair treads to determine the spacing between the nose of the stairs and your bottom rail. Locate the 2 balusters with crimped lock tabs on their ends. Install those 2 balusters into the baluster holes closest to your posts. Then, place all remaining balusters into your bottom rail. Add your top rail. You might need a second person to help with this one. Similar to installing FinylLine TTop level railing, there are 3 methods that you can use to attach your FinylLine TTop stair railing. We'll demonstrate using the pre-molded brackets, then discuss the other options later. Clamp your assembled stair railing section adjacent to your mounted posts, leaving equal distances from the ends of both balusters. Trace the post onto both ends of your top and bottom rails and make 4 marks, being sure to mark 1/8 of an inch shorter to allow for expansion. Then remove your stair kit and cut to length using these 4 marks. Next, slide the stair brackets onto the rails and place your rail section between your posts. Mark all bracket holes, then pre-drill all holes with a 1/8 inch drill bit. You may find it easier to remove the railing before pre-drilling. Drive 4 number 10 1.5 inch self-tapping square drive screws through the top and bottom brackets and into the posts. For each installed side bracket, pre-drill in the center of each elongated hole with a 1/8 inch drill bit, then install number 10 1-inch screws into your pre-drilled holes. Match the letters scribed on the inside of the bracket cover to the letter on the bracket and snap the cover into place. Repeat this for all of your brackets. For a finishing touch, add adjustable trim rings, lights, or other accessories sold separately. Now we'll do the adjustable swivel brackets. First, determine the height of the bottom rail to your stair tread. Place an assembled rail section onto the top of your spacer and against your post. Using a level, determine the proper pitch for your railing and shift the railing up or down to create equal baluster spacing for each post. Then hold the railing into place with clamps. Align the angle swivel bracket into position to establish bracket height and the bracket angle rotation. Mark this spot. Add an additional 7/8 of an inch to the length and draw a second mark, which you'll use as your cut line for the rail ends. Repeat this step for each end, then remove your stair kit and cut to length using these marks. Place your angle swivel brackets over the ends of each rail. Set your rail section back onto the spacer between the posts, re-establishing bracket angle pitch, and clamp into position. Mark the 4 screw holes in each bracket and the position of the bracket with the base. Remove the clamps from your rail assembly and remove rail assembly from between the posts. Pre-drill your marked holes that you made in the previous step into the post with a 1/8 inch drill bit. Remove the brackets from the ends of your rail assembly. aligning the bracket and base with your pencil mark from earlier, and fasten with 2 provided number 10 1-inch panhead screws. The bottom bracket uses 1 number 10 by 1-inch panhead screw. Repeat this for each bracket. Place your brackets back onto the rail ends, then place your rail assembly into place. Fasten the brackets to your post using 4 provided number 10 by 1.5-inch screws, aligning the brackets to your pre-drilled holes. Once all brackets are fastened to the posts, pre-drill through the bracket and rail with a 1/8-inch drill bit in 2 places for each bracket. Next, fasten with 2 supplied number 10 by 1-inch flathead screws. Repeat for each bracket. Add 2 screw covers and 2 screw caps to each bracket. For a finishing touch, add adjustable trim rings, lights, or other accessories sold separately. You can also use a field-cut angle bracket. To install, simply slide the rail brackets over ends of the railing. Measure the angle for your job and cut the bracket, rail, and aluminum channel, if used, to that angle, assuring that you keep your spacing between your post and first baluster at a maximum of 4 inches or less. Then repeat this for your bottom rail. Install your railing as previously demonstrated. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching and for purchasing FinylLine brand products. Visit us at www.finyl-line.com for more information.